Marit Ayin has always been one of the most human parts of halacha. It recognizes that people interpret what they see, not what they know internally, and that Jewish law must sometimes respond to how actions appear within a community. In an age of food technology, precision fermented dairy, plant-based burgers that bleed, cultivated meat, parve cheeses that melt and stretch exactly like mozzarella, the gap between appearance and reality is wider than ever. And yet halacha remains perfectly capable of navigating this world because the underlying principle has not changed. Avoid situations where the viewer reasonably believes a prohibited act is taking place. The challenge is simply updating the practical tools that make this clarity possible. The positive news is that Jewish communities have already built effective habits over centuries, and these habits translate beautifully into the new food landscape. Historically, Marit Ayin solutions were simple. Serve almond milk with almonds visible, label margarine clearly when used in a meat meal, or announce when fish was prepared to look like meat. These approaches were never about strictness for its own sake. They were about maintaining social trust, the idea that observant households act in ways that don't confuse or mislead others. That same mindset now becomes a powerful ally in the era of food tech. If a precision-fermented cheese looks identical to dairy mozzarella, or if a plant-based burger is visually indistinguishable from a beef patty, then clarity in presentation becomes an act of communal responsibility rather than halakhic burden. In practice, communities can adopt straightforward, positive strategies that reinforce transparency without stifling innovation. Clear labeling is the easiest and most flexible tool. Restaurants can explicitly note parve cheese alternative or plant-based meat on menus. Kosher kitchens can place labeled containers near serving areas. Families hosting guests can simply mention, "This is the dairy-free version." These solutions require little effort, but create a shared language that signals openness and care. None of this turns food tech into a problem. Instead, it allows everyone to enjoy these new foods with confidence, knowing that authenticity and halakhic integrity are being protected simultaneously. Presentation can also play a meaningful role. Consider a Shabbat table where a parve cheesecake created with precision-fermented proteins is served after a meat meal. Simply placing the original packaging nearby or verbally noting its status can instantly dispel confusion. In a kosher cafe, staff can display signage explaining which items use microbial dairy proteins or plant alternatives. Even symbols, small colored tags or icons for parve dairy style, could help customers navigate the menu without needing technical explanations. These small cues turn Marit Ayin from an obstacle into a communal courtesy. Educational awareness is another powerful tool. As more Jews become familiar with food technology, the likelihood of confusion organically diminishes. When people know that dairy-like foods can be parve, or that steak-like items can be plant-based, they instinctively interpret what they see differently. Education doesn't eliminate Marit Ayin concerns outright, but it reduces their practical intensity. It expands the boundaries of what no longer appears suspicious. In fact, halacha has consistently recognized that Marit Ayin depends on the norms of a time. Once people regularly encounter almond milk or margarine, the concern naturally fades. The same evolution can, and likely will, occur with precision-fermented dairy and other future foods. Even within stricter interpretations, Marit Ayin does not demand burdensome safeguards. It simply asks for reasonable clarity. In situations where food looks almost identical to a prohibited mix, like a parve ice cream drizzled over a steak dessert plate, communities can choose slightly different plating to differentiate it. Kitchens can pair dairy-free replicas with subtle visual cues, such as vegan wrappers or dedicated serving dishes. These may seem minor, but they reinforce a shared understanding that halacha and culinary creativity can coexist without tension. What makes all of this fundamentally positive is that Marit Ayin does not reject new foods, it integrates them. It ensures that technological progress enhances Jewish life rather than destabilizes it. Instead of restricting innovation, halacha offers a gentle structure that encourages honesty and communal harmony. And food tech, with its precision and traceability, often makes the halakhic landscape clearer rather than more complicated. In the bigger picture, Marit Ayin invites communities to cultivate trust by using common-sense communication. The tools, labels, verbal explanation, signage, familiar icons are simple, inexpensive, and already part of Jewish practice. What changes is the context. The foods are new, but the halakhic wisdom guiding their use is timeless. As dairy alternatives become more realistic and plant-based meats more convincing, Jewish communities can embrace them fully while preserving clarity. Through small gestures and thoughtful presentation, halacha and modern food science move forward together, proving once again that tradition is not threatened by innovation, it is strengthened by it.